The Joe Milton experiment is going horribly wrong for the Cowboys. He has shown throughout his first 2 preseason games that he's all arm and nothing else. You got a better chance getting a Joe Milton completion, throwing a Hail Mary, than you do anything else. The Cowboys are better off just calling Hail Marys, footworks all game with Joe Milton in that quarterback than they are running any other concept. Because either he's going to throw a 70-yard dime to a receiver, or he's going to overthrow a receiver by 80 or 100 yards. He just might throw the football out of the stadium. Joe Milton has the strongest arm in the history of the NFL. There is no denying that. But other than arm strength and good athleticism, what else does Joe Milton have to offer any franchise? Joe Milton is not Dak Prescott's future replacement, and he's not the future quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And he isn't even the future quarterback of any other NFL franchise. He had a good performance in the final game of the regular season for the Patriots last year against the Bills, backups and third strings. If he was going up against the Bills' actual starting defense, then everybody would have already realized what we currently are seeing now unfold in the preseason, that Joe Milton is not an NFL level quarterback. You don't view a guy that's in his near late 20s as a developmental project. At this point, you have to accept that Joe Milton is what he is. He's going to give you a lot of splash plays when he hits 3-4 deep balls out of 21 pass attempts, and he's just going to be inaccurate when it comes to throwing passes with accuracy in the short intermediate areas of the field. That is not NFL level quarterback play. If Joe Milton develops 2-3 years from now, he'll be a good backup, but he won't be a franchise quarterback in this league. We get so enamored by potential. We get so enamored by elite traits that we overlook there is more to being a good quarterback than just how hard and how far you can throw a football, how fast you can run. You got to have the intangibles. You got to have good footwork. You got to have good decision making. Joe Milton lacks in both of those categories. You cannot develop a quarterback from scratch. You need to have a good baseline to work with. You got to have a good foundation. When you build a house, you just don't build a house from nothing. First, you have to lay down the foundation for what the house is going to be built on. And if you have a weak foundation, then you're going to have a crappy house. If you have a weak foundation as a quarterback, bad footwork, bad decision making, you're going to be a bad quarterback in this league. Athleticism only gets you far when you're in high school and college. Once you get to the pros, athleticism doesn't mean much if you don't have the intangibles down pat. Jerry Jones has wasted 2 mid-round selections trying to kick the tires on rehabilitation projects at quarterback. A few years ago, he gave up a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance. And Trey Lance isn't even on the Cowboys roster anymore. Then he gives up a 5th-round pick for Joe Milton. Now, you may think, oh, JT, 4th and 5th round picks aren't anything. They're just mid-round selections. The majority of NFL rosters are comprised of mid-round picks. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick. DeRon Bland was a 5th-round pick. 4th and 5th rounders could end up being high-level starters depending on the team. And essentially, Jerry Jones threw away 2 potential starters for the Cowboys, trading for Trey Lance and Joe Milton, trying to rehabilitate quarterbacks that don't have the ability to really be rehabilitated into franchise quarterbacks. Dak Prescott, I know he's laughing at Jerry Jones right now, because every time Joe Milton was making a mistake, He'll go up to him on the sidelines. He'll try to, talk him through what went wrong, what he needs to do better, just for Joe Milton to go back out there and do the same thing that Dak Prescott was just trying to teach him not to do. Jerry Jones is so far gone. It's comedy at this point. The Cowboys have so many bigger needs that they had to address this offseason than trying to find Dak Prescott's successor. You needed another running back. You need you a wide receiver 3. You could use a little bit more depth on the defensive line, a little bit more depth in the secondary, but instead you throw what could have been a useful pick to improve one of your areas of needs on the Joe Milton experiment. I have a friend of mine that actually saw Joe Milton throw in person a few years ago at a Rivals camp. And he said that he would have paid money to watch Joe Milton throw the ball, because watching Joe Milton throw is a spectacle. Anytime he throws a deep ball, it's a spectacle to behold, because he has one of the prettiest deep balls that I've ever seen. But that's all that he has the ability to do. Throw the ball deep. He can't do anything else. Most of the time when you're playing quarterback, you're not chugging deep balls all day long. You're not throwing Hail Marys on every play. You got to throw 5, 10-yard passes with accuracy. You got to be able to take what the defense gives you. Joe Milton can't even take advantage of what the defense is giving him. The defense is allowing him to get the layups because he can't hit the layups. This is another reclamation project, another rehab project that has blown up in Jerry Jones and the Cowboys' faces.